Hey, everybody. Now I got a little story I want to tell you. Okay, it's a little story. I'm going to tell it to you right now. I went to a convention about poetry because everybody knows I'm a poet. And there was a poetry convention that I went to in Cleveland, Ohio. So I was there and we were doing it, our different phases of the poetry conference. And we had a little 2-hour break, so people could go to lunch and all that kind of stuff. And I was walking around the hotel, and there were like 5 or 6 different banquet rooms in this hotel. It was a pretty big hotel. So I was walking past this one banquet room, and I heard all these dogs barking. And there was this guy standing in front of the door. And I said, man, what is that? And he said to me, it's a dog convention. I said, dogs have conventions? He said, yeah, dogs have conventions. He said, well, is there any way that I could kind of, have any kind of comprehension on what it is they barking about? You know what I mean? So he says, oh, yeah, we have this technology that you can put on. It's like a little headset you can put on with a little box that fits in your pocket. And it's, it's wireless. And other than, the headphones going to your head. And he says to me, if you use it, it costs $5. And if you use it, then you can understand what it is they're barking about. And I was like, really? He said, yeah, man, we have all kinds of technology today. And I said, okay, I got 2 hours to spare. I'm going to go in there. Here's my $5 and give me my little box with my headphones, and I'm going to sit and listen to what they're talking about. So I got my little box and I put my headphones on and I turned the box on, and all of a sudden I could understand what they were saying. And the speaker, evidently I got there just in time, because the speaker was calming everybody down. It was this big Great Dane up on the platform, had a little microphone and everything. And he was up there, and he said, everybody calm down, everybody calm down, everybody calm down, calm down, calm down. And there was all kinds of dogs there, big ones, little ones, fat ones, skinny ones, German shepherds, little chihuahuas and everything like this and all that. So I sat down, and all the dogs stopped barking. And he stepped up to the mic and everything. And, he walked up to the mic, and he was like, okay, I'm thankful to be here today. Y'all know the scoop, when every speaker, he said what every speaker says. Glad to be here today. I'm glad you all came, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And he said, now, let's get down to business. We are here because as dogs, we feel like we have been misrepresented. I'm thinking to myself, how do you misrepresent a dog? I mean, a dog is a dog, right? Great Danes, Chihuahuas, they're different. Pit Bulls, they're different like that, but they all dogs. So how do you misrepresent a dog? But I didn't say nothing. I just wanted to listen, so I listened real good. And he said, this is the point. Bow Wow does not represent the way we sound. And all the dogs in the world are upset. Ruff, ruff, roof, roof. Now, that is a good representation because we sound like that. Ruff, 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 and all that. Yeah, we sound like that. But Bow Wow is a misrepresentation. And we are here to set these human beings straight on this. We do not want to be referred to as sounding like Bow Wow. For example, chickens, they sound like, they actually sound like that. You know what I mean? Chickens are not being misrepresented. Take the cow, for instance. The cow, moo. See? When a cow moves, it sounds like moo. Yes, it does. And now let me see. With the horse. Now, horses sound like that, and because they are represented properly, you don't see the horses protesting. You don't see the cows protesting. You don't hear about the pigs protesting. I mean, oink oink is close enough to the grunt to where it is not a misrepresentation. And once again, I have got to say that bow wow is a misrepresentation of what we sound. Right now, we're going to take a vote. And the vote is that we are going to send the message out to these human beings that rough will be the national representation of what we sound like as dogs. Rough. And, when we go for the growling, grrr. Now, G-R-R-R-R-R, grrr. That's a good representation of when we growl. Grrr. Now, let me see all the tails. Everybody who is in agreement with us sending this proclamation out to the human beings about putting a stop to bow wow, let me see the tails. And I looked around, and all the tails were up and wagging and everything, so I took it like everyone was in agreement. Okay? So then, he stepped down, and this pit bull got up and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We have a proclamation here. Okay? We're going to send it out to the radio stations. We're going to send it out to the TV stations. And we're even getting it printed up in UN language so there is no misunderstanding about what we are for, what we stand for, and the change that must be made. I say, along with all my other brother and sister dogs, that bow wow has got to go. We cannot stand any longer to be represented by bow wow. That's right. Bow wow has got to go. Is everybody in agreement? And all over the place, you heard, yes. Now to the other human beings who didn't have their little translator on, it just sounded like, but I understood that it was unanimous. And it was one of the shortest conferences I've ever seen. And they passed around the proclamation. And he sat down, and a bulldog got up, and he was going to be the messenger. He said, yes, okay, I'm going to make sure that all these get delivered to where they got to go. Thank you for attending, and if you want any more information concerning this, you can get contact with the Great Dane. Just address your correspondence to greatdane.com. Okay, everybody is dismissed. And thank you for attending, and thank you for your support. Bow wow is over. We will not be represented by bow wow ever again. Thank you. So, after that, I took my, translator off and looked around, and they was all mingling around. They had that little buffet there, kibbles and bites and all that kind of stuff, some nice juicy dog food around. Everybody was just milling around. All the dogs was talking to each other, and it was cool. It was pretty cool. I just wanted to tell you that little story because, I had to get back to my conference about poetry, and, I kind of, gave him back my little translator that I had rented for $5. And I went on about my business. But, I wanted to just share that story with you because it seems like even the animals want to be represented in a good light. And you have to admit, bow wow does not sound like the way a lot of dogs sound. So I think they had a good point there. All right. Well, when I got another story, I'll share it with you another time. Right now, Creative Attitudes continues.